It is mid-September. My name is Brad. I think it's time for a quick roundup of all the creative arts news that's happened in the last few weeks. Starting with the big Apple event that happened on Tuesday. We got new phones, Apple Watch upgrades, and some little bits of plastic that you can shove into your ears. But no new iPads. This wasn't too surprising. Leading into the event, there were rumors pointing to a mini and a Pro refresh sometime next year, but there's still the potential of seeing an iPad Air update or even an update to the entry-level iPad. Of course, with those two things, it would probably only be a little bit of a spec bump. And that could still happen. Some years Apple has an October event. If they plan on launching any new Macs this year, that might make sense. I don't know if we're actually going to see that though. You might just see an update to the processors and them sending out a press release to let you know, which they've been doing more and more over the last few years. Either way, expect a pretty quiet fall, at least on the Apple front around here. At least on the hardware side, because right now the software side of the iPad ecosystem is red hot right now. Last week, the folks over at Procreate went to Playgrounds in Motion, a conference for animators, to unveil a standalone animation app they're calling Procreate Dreams. Animation Festival animation app, how did we not see this coming? In the Apple-style press conference, they showed off features like their dynamic timeline, where you could pinch and zoom in and out, and their performance feature, where the app records your movements in real time when your pencil is moving something around on the screen, and a lot of other nifty tricks too. I have a whole video on my channel here. I'll link it up here, or maybe it's this corner. I can never get that right. The too long didn't read. It's fun. It's basically Procreate's drawing app nestled inside a full-blown animation app. And the animations that they showed off that had been made in Procreate Dreams were truly impressive. Just wow. I'm inspired. This one drops on November 22nd for a one-time price of $20, and it's only on the iPad. So what was Ibis Paint doing the day Procreate had their big showcase? Announcing the same thing! Well, kinda. In their upcoming version 11.0, Ibis Paint X is rolling out a frame-by-frame animation toolkit. So basically, if you're using Ibis Paint X, you're going to be able to use animation in the near future. So if you're not familiar with that program, it's pretty darn good. It is a free drawing app that is really good for pen and ink drawings. It can also do a lot more. It's an ad-supported app, so you can pay a few bucks more and the ads go away. So this is a pretty beefy update. So there's that frame-by-frame animation tool, which is pretty lightweight, pretty straightforward. There's also an AI background removal tool, a new search functionality for their materials library, and search functionality for their brushes as well. And they're going to be rolling out a new retro art filter so you can turn any of your work into pixel art. There's a new spin blur effect, and last but not least, a history function in your filters so you can see what the last filters you've used most recently are. There's no release date set for this yet, but they have it up on their website, so I would expect it to drop anytime now. Hold up, I wrote this script yesterday. Is it out? Well, there you go, it's live. Rolled out 13 hours ago. You can now animate in Ibis Paint. Drawing is fun. I like the construction method, where if you can learn how to draw basic shapes, you can basically turn those into everyday objects. And this is what I teach in my latest course, Learn to Draw in 60 Days. We cover a whole bunch of stuff, but one of my favorite parts is that we start simple with things like a cube, and then we turn that cube into a dresser. And how would you draw that dresser if the door was open in perspective? Then how do you make that boring dresser look more lived in? Every day is a new video lesson with homework, and you can go at your own pace. We spend several days in this course just filling up this room with all sorts of different objects, each day creating something new and adding a twist. bradsartschool.com if you want to learn more about this course and any of my others. Go there. Back to the news. Asus is making a drawing tablet. The Pro Art Pen display was announced about a year and a half ago at CES, quite a while, but it's going to start shipping as early as next month. We're talking about a 16-inch 4K LCD touch display that they're turning into a drawing tablet, and the cool part comes with a Wacom ERN pen. EMR pen. The letters are important here. No word on pricing yet, but this one might be a banger. I'm getting one in here to review here pretty soon, and I'll have some more details next month. If you're scratching your head wondering why Asus, why would they make a drawing accessory? Asus has an entire series of pro art laptops and PCs accessories. These are really geared towards 3D artists and folks who need really powerful, beefy setups. I was just watching a PC build where this guy used Asus Pro Art parts to make what might be one of the most beautiful custom computers I have ever seen. You don't need that, Brad. You don't need that, Brad. If you want to fall down the PC building YouTube rabbit hole, search Asus Pro pro art PC builds. There's some beauties out there. Anyway, having a nice high quality pen enabled display for that market makes a ton of sense. So I'm pretty pumped to try it out. There are some pressure problems with the Wacom One drawing tablets that were released last month. Now, I mentioned in my Wacom One review that the initial activation rate on the pens was noticeably less than it was on the Pro pens. But if you really want to geek out about that stuff and do a super deep dive into what is happening, why is it happening, and where is it happening, there's a channel called 7 Pens that has an 18-minute video testing out a whole bunch of various pens on those Wacom One tablets. The too long didn't read is that he found that the Gen 2 Wacom pens seemed to be the problem, and that's where the performance issues are happening. And taking other Wacom pens from other devices seems to fix that. There's just something off about the pressure on those new pens. Anyway, if you want to geek out about pen stuff, go there. Another piece of AI art was denied copyright. This one got some attention last year when it won Best Piece of Digital Art at the Colorado State Fair. This was the third time the Copyright Office said nay, and this is actually the last time. This was its final appeal, saying that Allen's contributions would only allow him to copyright specific parts of the work that he edited in Photoshop, not the whole image. This is consistent with an earlier ruling, and it seems going forward this is just where the Copyright Office is going to land, which is going to make it a lot harder for people to use AI created art to actually create copyright trademarkable things. It's going to be curious to see how that kind of filters out to some of the lawsuits going forward as well. Looking for a fun drawing challenge this month? Swordtember is in full swing. Faith Shaper has a prompt list over on the Twitters. I've been perusing the hashtag, and there's some really fun stuff over there. I love watching all the creative swords people are coming up with. I'm going to link some of the images that I'm showing here down below in the comments if you want to follow along with those artists as well. So that is the news for the first half of September. What are you looking forward to? Is there any news that I missed? Let me know in the comments. There's an email address attached to my About page of this YouTube page, or just hit me up on Twitter. You know, just send the news my way. Give me all of it. Anyway, thank you all for watching, and I'll talk to you in a couple of days.